So let me ask you a question. If someone asks you, what would you rather be, rich or famous? Which one would you take? Well, you go back to 1956, which I agree is decades and decades ago. Most of you were never born then. There was a movie, an Alfred Hitchcock movie by the name of The Man Who Knew Too Much. And it featured Doris Day and Jimmy Stewart. It's a Hitchcock film, so you know what a Hitchcock film is. But anyway, during that movie, she sang a song called Que Sera Sera. And what that means is whatever will be, will be. But the lyrics said, am I going to be rich or am I going to be famous? Well, when it comes to college athletics, that's a very interesting question that needs to be asked by every athlete playing in whatever sport they're playing in major college. Because a few years back, the judicial system said, you know, you guys got to start paying the college athletes because you're using their name, their image, their likeness, and you're making a whole lot of money on it. And if you're making a whole lot of money on it, you got to cut the players in on a cut of the deal and how much they're going to make. So, turns out that schools decided to, well, since we've got to pay the athletes, let's see how much money we can garner together with from our college fund and from our alumni who have more money than God, and see what we can pay. And maybe we could buy the best athletes in the United States, five-star athletes, we could buy them and win national championships. Well, did that work out that way? Now, here's an interesting point. Apparently, the highest paid athlete in the United States, in college football at least, is a Manning. Well, Manning. That's in Texas. And he is a cousin of the Mannings. He's in the Manning clan. Apparently, he is earning $6 million a year. Now, if he's getting $6 million a year, and assume he gets that every year for 4 years, that's like $24 million. Before he even plays a down at professional football, he's set for life. He doesn't have to worry about being drafted and playing and getting himself hurt or whatever. He's got $25 million in the bank, and he can live pretty doggone well, and I mean pretty doggone well, being that high paid. So, did it make them the number one team in America? Are they in the college football playoffs? Ask yourself that question. So, how does that affect other teams? What are the big teams with the big money? Well, Texas has got probably the most money in the NIL, but guess who's number two? Ohio State, Buckeyes. Where are they? Then you go down to LSU. Well, they have so many different coaches in there. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they got a lot of money. Followed by Georgia, then Texas A&M, Michigan, Alabama, Florida, and Auburn. A lot of SEC schools in there with a whole lot of money. But how well are they doing in the football playoffs? Really ask yourself that question. How well are they doing? Well, okay. But then you got one little team out there. One little team is in the college playoffs, is currently undefeated, and that's Indiana University. And where are they on the money poll? Well, they're way down toward the bottom, like number 28, I believe it is. And yet, look at the team they have. Look at this, the athletes they have. Now, do they have a chance to go on and become rich because they're not playing for a great team money-wise? They can become famous. Yes, Heisman Trophy winner, famous, probably number one draft pick. The MVP from the bowl game they just played. The center, offensive center, took MVP, famous. They'll make good money down the road. So what are you going to be, rich or famous? Yes, you can be rich in college, but if you're famous in college, you could end up being rich when you get drafted into pros, maybe. Well, so the point is that now we have a thing called the portal. The portal is where athletes can transfer from whatever team they're playing to whatever team they want to play to, whoever attracts them with the most money or the most whatever. Well, here's what's happening at Indiana University with the portal that's going on right now. Players are coming to Indiana University from all over the United States. I'm talking about big schools. Right now, their number one player is from TCU. His name is Josh Hoover. Apparently, he's a pretty good quarterback. They think he's going to take Fernando's place. But you've got Nick Marsh, Xavier Gillum, Turbo Richard. I mean, there's a bunch of names you can come in there from all these different schools, wide receivers, defensive backs, the defensive ends. They're getting a whole mess of people coming to play at IU. But IU's not a big money school, so they're not playing necessarily for the money. They're playing for the fame. And once again, we go back to the question, would you rather be famous or rich? Apparently, many of these kids want to be famous. They want to be number one. They want to have the college football championship on their resume. And if you think about it, you go back to 1976, the Indiana basketball team was undefeated that year. Bob Knight took the team all the way undefeated to the NCAA championship. And we still talk about those players today. Yes, they did extremely well for themselves, but they also became very, very famous. So, at Indiana University, the question is it money or fame? Apparently, the way I see it, it's fame. They want to be on the top team with the top coach and win the top award, the NCAA championship. And when you think about it, que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Money or fame. At Indiana University, apparently, it's fame. And now, you know.